Hello, guys. Welcome back to the channel. If you missed the damn memo, the Indiana Fever have now been exposed, not by one team, but by two. The Dallas Wings exposed them the other night, and then the New York Liberty came in and exposed them all over again. I already broke down what Brianna Stewart said the Liberty would do to slow down Stephanie White and the Indiana Fever, but here's the crazy part. New York didn't even need some genius master plan. They simply played their game, and Stephanie White practically did the job for them. Because once again, Caitlin Clark was basically erased from the offense. Think about that. A superstar, an MVP-level player, and one of the biggest names in basketball has somehow become an optional piece in her own damn offense. Instead of maximizing Caitlin Clark, the Fever continue running so much through Kelsey Mitchell, and that raises a massive question. What the hell is Stephanie White actually trying to build? Caitlin Clark isn't supposed to look like a role player. She's supposed to be one of the central engines of this team. Yet somehow, the player who can completely change the game with her shooting, passing, and playmaking is being pushed further and further away from the center of the offense. And let's not forget what Caitlin Clark has done for Indianapolis. She has helped bring enormous attention, excitement, and economic value to the city and to Pacers sports and entertainment. After everything she has brought to this franchise, is this really how they're choosing to use her? Now, the bigger question becomes, is the writing on the wall for Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever? Because that press conference certainly raised eyebrows. Caitlin Clark appeared extremely uncomfortable, and it looked like she had little interest in sitting beside her own head coach, Stephanie White. Maybe there's nothing deeper behind it, but damn, the optics were hard to ignore. And when you combine that moment with the offensive struggles, the Dallas Wings loss, the New York Liberty exposing the Fever, and the continued questions about Caitlin's role, fans have every right to start asking what the hell is going on behind the scenes. So, I'm done talking. Let's look and listen to exactly what Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White said in that press conference, and then you tell me what you think.
A struggle time. You feel like you left a lot of points on the board over the top seed and be different.
Yeah, correct.
Steph, what were your key takeaways out of tonight? What did you think beyond the free throw discrepancy?
I mean, it's consistency, right, for us. I thought that there were some moments, where we made them uncomfortable. Not enough. When we were up into the ball pressure, and I thought we got some really good things on the defensive end. And then there were lapses that caused fouls that went to free throws, lapses that allowed offensive rebounds, lapses that allowed, soft switches into cuts, lapses on the offensive end where we didn't move the ball, we didn't find the right play, didn't find the right pass. Look, you think if you shoot 51%, 42% from the three and you make your free throws, but more than anything, I think this is just an opportunity for us to keep learning, how much of a sense of urgency you have to play with every single possession. This is playoff basketball right now. It's playoff basketball, and there has to be an urgency every single possession.
Maisha, is she okay? And
I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything.
She's still being evaluated.
And it sounds like you had her in that lineup. Can you just take me through that decision? She obviously was, I think, the best plus minus of anyone on your team tonight.
Yeah, I'm really proud of her. She had, I don't know how many DNPs in a row, and she's always ready. And I thought we put her in there and she gave us energy right away. Did a great job on the defensive end of the floor. Her activity level, I think first play, she went right to the rim. It's not easy to do, but it's the job, right? And I think she's a great example for all of our players to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. She was impactful.
Hi, Caitlin. You debuted your new Emerald Rise colorway tonight, and it looked pretty fitting against Liberty. Was that intentional?
No.
Caitlin, how much of a mental battle does the next 24 hours become after you exert this much energy you got to turn around?
I mean, there's no excuses. Our schedule's tough, and I think we play more back-to-backs than just about anybody in the league, but, it is what it is, and Chicago's playing really good basketball. I think for us, we have to look at it in a positive way. We're coming off of a loss. It's a great opportunity for us to go and finish this road trip on a win. That's how I see it. And yeah, everybody's tired, everybody's sore. Who cares? You know, figure out a way to make yourself feel better and suit up and go play.
Yeah, Aliyah, Steph just talked about the urgency you guys need to have. Just what mentally do you need to do as players to find that urgency?
Yeah, you turn the page. We look at this and we see where we make our mistakes and just try to just turn it around really quick. I mean, just like C said, like Chicago's playing really great basketball, coming off a big win. And so for us, it's just making sure that we're focused and ready for the moment.
Ladies, you guys were down pretty much all game, then had to run in the fourth quarter to eventually tie the game. What do you think made the difference in getting back into the game before those last couple?
Yeah, I mean, basketball is a game of runs. So, you know, they had theirs and then we came back. But I think for us, it was letting our defense spark our offense. I mean, being up to touch, ball pressure, playing out in transition. That's how we like to play. Knocking down some threes, got us back in it.
Steph, for being able to play through Aliyah consistently, while she is such a threat from behind the 3-point arc, how much does that combination, do you think, make this offense better this year even than it was last year or the year before?
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes it better because we have a post that can stretch. I mean, you know, you didn't have that a year ago, and so you could really, you know, hone in on C and on Kelsey, pack the paint, make things difficult, and not have to guard all 5 positions. You know, so I think it gives us the ability to space AB on the perimeter and then use our other post player for some diving opportunities or for some screening opportunities. So I think it's been really good. You know, we asked AB to focus on that in the off season, and she did.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, skip.
With Kelsey, she tied the record now for most consecutive 20-point games in a row. The pro record tied Molly Bolin of the WBL. No one's in the WNBA now. She's tied with Molly. Just, you know, can you talk about what it means to have that consistency, that given?
Yeah, I mean, it's I think it says what a high level that she's playing at right now. I think it shows, you know, how difficult it is to guard her one-on-one. I think we talked about that in the pregame. I think the biggest thing for me is how she's doing it in a lot of different ways. You know, you used to play Kelsey a lot just to get downhill. And you would play her for the spot up. I think her ability to play off of 2 feet, to get to the free throw line, you know, to read the game and do it in a number of ways, has been really impressive. And, you know, it's tough to do what she's been doing, night in and night out.
So for all the ladies, so speaking of Kelsey just now, I think in the NBA, so Wendy actually campaigned for his own MVP. So Kelsey would be in the race for MVP as well. He made 3 arguments. Do you guys have 3 arguments for Kelsey to be the MVP or for Caitlin as well?
I think if you look at the numbers that they're putting out, both C and Kels, I feel like it's clear. I mean, teams guard them differently. They're sending everyone, they're throwing gen defenses. I mean, ball pressure is so different, and they still consistently put up these numbers. So I feel like there's not really much of a campaign. I feel like when you just look at the numbers and you look at the way teams guard, it's clear as day.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Guys, we need to talk about Stephanie White because what the hell was that coaching performance? Caitlin Clark had a brutal night, including some critical late misses, missed free throws, and a costly foul that helped swing the game. But here's the part Stephanie White critics are going to focus on. Once again, the Fever had a chance to steal a massive win, and the damn opportunities slipped away. After the loss to the Dallas Wings and now the defeat against the New York Liberty, these games are becoming extremely important for Indiana's playoff positioning. Both the Liberty and the Wings are competing with the Fever for a better seed, so dropping these games could come back to bite Indiana hard. And yes, Caitlin Clark deserves criticism for the mistakes she made late. Nobody is saying she was perfect. But if you're going to blame Caitlin for the loss, you better damn well talk about Stephanie White's coaching decisions too, because this team needs more than just late-game chaos. And despite Caitlin's rough night, Aliyah Boston still came out swinging in defense of her teammate. When asked about Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell's MVP chances, Boston made it crystal clear that both players have done enough to belong in that conversation, and her reasoning was damn convincing. Boston pointed out that teams don't defend Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell like ordinary players. Opponents throw everything at them. They apply intense ball pressure, send multiple defenders, and constantly change defensive looks. Yet somehow, these two continue producing numbers. Aliyah Boston basically said there doesn't even need to be some giant MVP campaign. Just look at the numbers. Look at how opponents defend them. Look at what they're dealing with every damn night. And that's where this gets interesting. Because while Aliyah was openly backing Caitlin Clark, Caitlin herself didn't say anything. Nothing. Caitlin didn't say anything. And that silence is going to get people talking. Was she simply frustrated after a tough loss? Was she exhausted? Or is there something bigger happening between Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White that nobody is willing to address? We can't know what Caitlin was thinking, but the optics are certainly going to fuel the conversation. Stephanie White now has to figure this damn thing out. The Fever cannot afford to keep wasting opportunities against playoff contenders while questions continue surrounding Caitlin's role, the late-game offense, and the team's overall direction. Aliyah Boston has made her position clear. Caitlin Clark belongs in the MVP conversation. Now, Stephanie White needs to prove she knows how to get the most out of her. So, what do you think? Was Stephanie White's coaching the real problem, or did Caitlin Clark simply have a bad night? Get down in the comments right now. Like, subscribe, and let me know exactly where you stand.